David Menzies for Rebel News here in Wasaga Beach, Ontario, the world's longest freshwater beach. But you know something, folks? There is something a little more putrid on the beach these days. Indeed, a local resident by the name of Natty, she recently took to social media in which she accused newcomers, mostly from India, of defecating on the beach and then burying their excrement in the sand.
There are Indian families that dig holes and put tents and poop. They do it on the beach now, and they did it off my backyard. There was like 3 different families of maybe 25, 30 people that came for barbecues. They would set up right on the fence of my backyard. I seen them digging the hole, and I seen them put the tent. When they left, there was poop. That happened 3 separate times. I've had to yell at people for on the borderline property line of my backyard. And yes, it was Indian families. So that's not false. You can check my town's page where they say there are Indian people pooping on our beach, because they're digging holes and they're pooping and putting tents up because they don't want to go to the washrooms. And I'm here to fact check that, because that's not a lie. So
Natty's video has gone viral. Most of the comments are, as what you would imagine, people expressing their disgust with this situation. Naturally, because it's 2024, some have accused Natty of being racist. But the thing is, we have reached out to sources and they confirm that Natty is 100% correct in her assertions. For example, we communicated with an ex-Wasaga Beach bylaw officer, and he says not only are people defecating in the sand and then burying the evidence, but they are also burying used diapers. What's more, he says, when you see some of these tents, what you might think of a structure for people to get out of the scorching sun, well, in some cases, those tents are nothing more than temporary outhouses. This is where certain people are going to do their business. Again, it's absolutely gross. Also, as we understand from this ex-Wasaga Beach bylaw officer, when he would ticket people who he caught defecating on the beach, he was accused of being a racist, and sometimes he and his colleagues would be swarmed with groups of up to 20 people. They wouldn't throw punches, but imagine being in that situation where you're outnumbered 20-1 and people are calling you every nasty name under the book simply for doing your job, simply for telling people, do not defecate on a public beach. Also, we reached out to our source, Ted Smith. He is originally from India. That's not his real name. He uses a pseudonym to protect himself. But he says, yes, indeed, this is a fact of life on Wasaga Beach, as well as some other beaches in Ontario. And he attributes it to a cultural mindset, namely people who are well off in his community who come to the beach have the idea that they will defecate, they will leave their used diapers behind, they will leave their litter behind from a barbecue, because somebody lower down on the caste totem pole, if you will, employed by the town, will come and clean up their messes. In fact, Ted says in India, there really is no such thing as civic duty. Now, please, folks, don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just quoting somebody who is originally from India and has a real good handle on what's going on. Now, we have reached out to the town of Wasaga Beach. I never heard back from anybody with the town, but just earlier today, the mayor issued the following statement. Quote, "The town of Wasaga Beach takes all resident and visitor feedback seriously. However, we reject the premise of complaints that lack evidence and promote misinformation. While the town cannot speak for the Ministry of Environment or Ontario Parks, who operates, patrols, and manages all the beach areas within Wasaga Beach Provincial Park, we can speak to the facts." end quote. And some of those facts the mayor goes on to point out, folks, is the fact that there are several public washrooms available for people to use at Wasaga Beach, which is undeniably true. But it is also true that this is not so-called misinformation. We have spoken to two people who say they have witnessed this firsthand. We have seen the social media of Natty, who has called out this situation. I mean, I think the mayor is just terrified about going to the third rail of race. As we've been told, it is mainly people from the Indian community that are doing this. And I'm not trying to malign anyone. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be culturally insensitive. But we are living in a province, in a country, in the first world, and this cannot and should not be tolerated. So for the mayor to say that this is hearsay and isn't supported by the facts, it's not true. In fact, he reminds me of the movie Jaws, when the mayor was dismissing the shark attacks because, that would have an adverse effect on tourism. Nah, that's not flying with me, Mr. Mayor.
I pulled a tooth the size of a shot glass out of the wrecked hull of a boat out there, and it was the tooth of a great white.
It was Ben Gardner's boat. It was all chewed up. I helped tow it in. You should have seen him. Where is that tooth?
In any event, folks, my cameraman Lincoln J and I, we're going to walk around the beach. We're going to see if any of the beachgoers have anything to say about this very disturbing situation, and hopefully we'll even bump into a member of Bylaw on Patrol and see what they have to say about the excrement issue. Let's go.
I heard about that, yeah. People are in the beach,
Yeah.
and then they're burying it like, nothing happened.
Why would people do that? I mean, sir, we're right next to a washroom here. It's not as though people are being denied facilities.
I just feel like some people, they don't know life yet, so they just beach, bury it like an animal,
And they are defecating on the beach.
I've heard about that. Yeah, I have heard about that.
What do you make of that, ma'am?
I think it's disgusting, honestly. I think it's really gross. People could step on it.
I know for a fact, and it's not just Beach 1 here. I used to have property on beach, Allenwood Beach, and we had that problem there. And of course, we could find it because kids would be playing in the sand, making a sandcastle or whatever, and there would be poop in the sand. And it's a thing. It's without sounding like a racist or anything like that, and it has nothing to do with being racist. It's just in different countries, people have different traditions and different things.
Yeah, it's very bad because
I feel very sad about it, It's not a good thing, yeah.
I think it's horrible. I think it's terrible.
They should not do that to the beach. It's like a great place.
It's not very cool because it's a beach, a public place, and yeah, I think we should respect that and the fact that there's other people around and things like that.
Pure disrespect of our beaches, of Canada, of just everything. There are public washrooms. There's no charge to use the washroom.
Why would people do this?
I don't know. It's gross, I think.
Yeah.
There's washroom, there's right there, and there's everywhere, so I don't know why they do that.
It's crazy. Why people do this?
People coming to Wasaga Beach, and if you can imagine, defecating on the beach and burying dirty diapers.
Really?
What do you make of that, sir?
I hadn't heard anything about that, but I'd prefer it not to happen.
Yeah. But the question is, why is it happening? I can see in walking distance, there's plenty of public washrooms. You can see that one just across the street. Why would somebody do that?
I couldn't tell you. It doesn't seem necessary.
We've heard about it before we came here, and we were doubting whether we should come here or not.
Oh, is that right, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So far, it's been okay.
Yes.
We haven't seen any problems.
Okay.
But we were doubting ourselves before we came here, and we thought we would take a chance and see how it is.
But isn't that sad? I mean, the idea of going to the beach is to relax, to enjoy this beautiful water, this beautiful sand, and the idea that, there might be a horrible surprise package lurking beneath the sand, that kind of ruins the day almost, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
It's not just on Wasaga Beach. It's beaches from all over, from the Muskokas, all over Lake Huron, everywhere. They're defecating everywhere, and it's totally disgusting.